AEW Full Gear last night was a decent pay-per-view, I must say. But there's one fucking problem. It was too goddamn long. It was too long. It did not need to be 4.5 hours. What in the actual fuck is Tony Khan doing? Not everyone can get their shit in. You mean to tell me that this show couldn't went off the air by 11 or 11:15 at the absolute latest? Come on, man. What the fuck is going on? You have 4 pay-per-views a year. Every one of them doesn't need to be 4.5 hours. What the fuck? At best, these shows need to be at least 3 hours and 30 minutes. At least. At the very least. It makes zero sense. And some of these matches didn't even need to be on the card. They just didn't. Some of these matches did not feel like they were pay-per-view worthy. They felt like they were more of a rampage. That's just what it felt like. It's like some of these matches, they weren't even Dynamite worthy. They were worthy enough to be on Rampage, but not Dynamite, man. This doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't. But we're going to go over it. We're going to talk about it. This was AEW's final pay-per-view for 2021. So, we're not going to go over the pre-show because that doesn't matter. I didn't even watch the pre-show at all, so I don't even know what the fuck happened. I know it was a total of 10 matches, and I know 2 of them took place on the pre-show. That's all I know. Or the buy-in. My bad. So, we kicked the show off with Darby Allin versus MJF. This went kind of long. This went about a good 18 to 20 minutes. This is a pretty okay match, but they could have condensed it down to at least maybe about 12 to 16 minutes. So MJF gets the win via the Diamond Ring, and he hit a side headlock for the 1-2-3 on Darby. I gave that a 3 out of 5. MJF, sometime next year, has to be champion. He has to be AEW World Champion. He's got to be. Next, FTR versus the Lucha Bros, or the Lucha Brothers, for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. This was a typical FTR / Lucha Brothers match. Nothing special here happened. I don't know why the fuck the crowd was popping holy shit. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, what the fuck? The Lucha Bros, they retain via the power driver and the double foot stomp. I gave that a 3 out of 5. That went rather long. I think it was maybe 22 to 25 minutes at least. Then we had Miro versus Bryan Danielson in the Eliminated Tournament Finals for the AEW Championship #1 contendership match. That was a mouthful. So Bryan gets the win here via a triangle choke, but he does a DDT off the top rope. I believe it was botched, and I think Miro just passed out. I gave that a 3 out of 5. I'm okay with Bryan winning, but I really would have liked for Miro to win. I feel like it would have been better. Now, this next match is where we just get batshit crazy. where this was just nothing more than a 30-plus minute fucking spot fest of bullshit, of fuckery that didn't need to happen. That being the Super Click versus Christian Cage and Jurassic Express in a Falls Count Anywhere match. This shit didn't need to happen. It went on, like I said before, 30 plus fucking minutes. What the fuck, man? We don't need this shit. Why couldn't we just get Adam Cole versus Jungle Boy? Because we already got the match last month on Dynamite, about a month and a half ago. I believe it was in the middle of October when we got the match on Rampage. So I don't get why we had to, do it again. But this time just, waste everyone's time with doing a whole bunch of fucking nonsensical spot fest bullshit that you see the fucking Young Bucks do. So it was a typical Young Bucks match. So you're going to see a bunch of false finishes and just a bunch of dumb bullshit. We saw, table spots, steel chair shots. We saw thumbtack spots. Just your typical hardcore GCW bullshit that we get. But in the end, Jungle Boy gets the win via the concerto. I gave that a 2 out of 5. It was just too fucking long. Next, we had Andrade El Idolo and Malachi Black versus Pac and Cody Rhodes. Cody just turned fucking heel. Damn. How hard is it, my man? Turn heel. You are a dickhead in real life. Become that dickhead and make money off of it. What the fuck are you doing, Cody? Turn heel. If you want to be a politician, most politicians do heelish like shit. Then, motherfucker, do it. Become heel. Damn, I don't get it. I don't get why he doesn't want to turn heel. It makes zero sense. Like, dude, you're not fucking John Cena. You're not. Damn. But Pat gets the win via the Black Arrow. I gave that 3 out of 5. Then we had Tay Conti versus Britt Baker for the AEW's Women's Championship. This went on way too long. This was, I think, about 15 to 18 minutes, I believe. Enough. And it ended in a fucking roll-up. It ended in a damn piece of shit roll-up. Fuck, man. Damn, I hate these motherfucking roll-ups. What the fuck? Impact does this shit. AEW does this shit. WWE does this shit. What the fuck is it with these goddamn roll-ups, man? Fuck. I had no choice but to give it a 4. I mean, my bad. I had no choice to give it a 1 out of 5. What the fuck, man? It made no sense. It's like, what's going on here? It just boggles my mind why they did that. It just doesn't, make any sense. Moving on, we got CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston. This was pretty good. This went 11 minutes, which was great. And to my surprise, Punk wins via the GTS. And the crowd has basically turned on Punk. I feel that Eddie Kingston should have got the win here. He needed it. It would have validated him, and it would have solidified him as being somewhat legit. Because at some point in time, CM Punk's gonna have to eat his first loss. And I think, if it would have been Punk, I believe if it would have been Eddie going over versus Punk, then we could see a full-fledged CM Punk heel turn which we very well could get later on down the line. Next, we had the Inner Circle versus Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page and American Top Team. This was another basic Dynamite match. It could have happened on Dynamite. And I would have been fine with it as a main event. This was a bunch of fuckery. But in the end, Jericho gets the win via a frog splash. I believe it was the anniversary of Eddie's death. Man, I still miss Eddie. I gave that a 3 out of 5. Then we had Tony Schiavone. He's on the ramp and he introduces AEW's new signee, that being Jay Lethal. So I'm fine with that. And then I think on the Fallout show of Dynamite from Full Gear, we'll get Jay Lethal versus Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship. So that should be cool. Finally, the main event that was basically, you might as well say, 2 years in the making, but really, yeah. 2 years, basically 2 years. Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page for the AEW World Championship. This match was dope. They brought it, and the crowd went wild. And it was fucking awesome to see Hangman hit a fucking one-winged angel and Omega kicking out of it. So that was really fucking cool. In the end, the Bucks, they get involved and they both stare down Page, but then Nick and Matt, they do nothing and they just both nod and give their approval to Hangman. Hangman hits a final buckshot lariat for the 1, 2, 3. Crowd goes fucking nuts. And your new AEW World Champion is Hangman Page. I had no choice but to give this a 5 out of 5. I thought it was beautifully done. Simply because of the story. Simply because they struck hot. And I love it when a company does shit like that. You have to strike hot. And that's what they did. I'm fine with Bryan Danielson being Page's first opponent. And I do believe that Page will go over, obviously. I don't know how long his title reign is going to be. I know this. It doesn't need to be like a year-long title reign. Maybe a good 6 to 8 months would suffice for me. I'd be fine with that shit. But Hangman, dude, is that dude. This guy is 29 to 30 years old. And it's great to see homegrown talent like that being pushed and being utilized to his full potential. And congrats to Hangman. And I'm proud of him. You know, this is going to be great. It's going to be good. Now, another question is, there's going to be a rematch. When will that take place? Maybe it all out in 2022. You never know. It could happen. So I do believe that Omega will take time off. Obviously, probably a good 6 to 8 months. You know, go ahead and recuperate and come back. So, I mean, there's a lot of contenders out there for Page. There's a lot. Does that mean that the Elite are going to be faces now? Will Kenny get kicked out of the Elite? We'll find out, you know. this coming Wednesday, we'll find out. So, thank you guys for watching. Please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.